It is me, Sirwalterj, and I'm in the living room. I may need to turn the heat on. A little chilly down here. In Chicago, it's probably about 59 degrees. I don't know. Somebody can check. It is a Tuesday night, and we are here, and we're excited about being a legal citizen of the United States of America by way of Chicago, Illinois. And what a privilege it is to be called an American. And in some days, it is a curse. Nowadays, it's almost like it's a curse to be called an American citizen, not just because of what's going on in our shores, but what's going on over, even across the pond, which is the Atlantic Ocean, even the Pacific, over there where Pearl Harbor was attacked. Even down there south of here, you get to the tip of Florida, you jump and leap over, and you start traveling into areas like Cuba and Jamaica and Belize and Tobago and all those other places. Wherever we're divided by sea, yeah, we are not we're not really loved by many, even those of who are our allies. Allies. That's like I'm from Alabama. Allies. Good to see y'all, Seals and Luann and Roberts and all Rogers and all you all out there, Bunker Nations. Good to see you, April, MLG. Blessing to all of you. You know, Trump did something right. I never thought I'd say it, but I'm gonna say it. Trump did something right. And you know, sometimes Trump do something right by mistake. The thing about Donald Trump is that can I be honest with y'all? Can I be honest? I'm gonna be honest with you, Linda Mans. I'm gonna be honest with you, Lakeisha. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of us have put ourselves in where Trump is right now. Henry, Trump, Nancy and Margaret, Timothy, April, all the bunkers, y'all coming in. Trump wants to get to heaven. Cece, your president has been saying this over and over again that he wants to get to heaven, but he's not. It's not looking good for him. This is what he's been saying lately. Um, so Trump is trying to do good, or what he assumes is good, because he's looking for some kind of reward or an award. Okay, and so there's a couple things that he's looking for in this life and then in the afterlife. In the afterlife, he wants to get to heaven. In this life, he wants a Nobel Peace Prize. Unfortunately, it wasn't given to him last week, Precious. And he was upset about it, trust me. And the winner called him because she felt bad for him. Norway, are they the ones who give the award? They were nervous for not giving it to him because they felt that the retaliation was going to happen. Ain't that something? What you saying, Common? It was a good thing. Even his critics admit. But did he inadvertently perhaps set forth the events of the end time described with Jesus? When, yes, Common Sense Corner, you in my notes. Well, I don't have notes. It's up here somewhere. Y'all know good and well if I'm gonna put something up here to say that Trump did something good, you know that there's something coming after that, right? There's something coming after that. All right. Um, so Donald Trump does something directly because he hates something. Okay? I need you to listen to the mind of Trump. The mind of Trump. He does something because he don't like something or someone. All right. Number one. Number two, he does something for selfish gain. He loves money, which is the root of all evil. He loves money. So he does things to gain money. He does things to gain power. Is it Norway? The problem in Norway gives out. Thank you, Rogers. What did I say? I don't know who I say. Um, so he does it because he hates someone, something. He does it because he wants power and prestige. He wants to be praised, right? He does things because he wants to get to heaven because the evangelicals been whispering in his ears. He didn't really care about heaven until he joined forces with the evangelicals. Now he's surrounded by that, all right? He does things because he wanted the Nobel Peace Prize and he wants to be on the Time magazine. So they put him on Time magazine just recently, and he don't like the picture. Have y'all seen the picture? He got his neck is like this, and he hates the picture. He says it's a good write-up, but I hate the picture. Okay, he wants to be Time magazine's Man of the Year or Person of the Year. Okay, he does things to get things. He doesn't do these things because he loves mankind. He respects personhood. He thinks that they should stop fighting. There should be peace all over the world. He doesn't do it for those things. Those are just talking points. This thing with Israel and the Palestinian people is something that he jumped in when he felt that he could benefit from it. You're like, that's not true. What do you think he wants Palestine for? What do you think he wants Greenland for? Iceland for? Greenland. He wants Canada. All right. He wants Mexico. All right, why do you think he wants these? Because he is the product of that colonizing spirit and DNA that was laid into him from his great grandparents. You understand? He is a colonizer at its purest form in a laboratory. If you wanted the purest form of white supremacist colonizing, um, he is the result of it. And so sometimes, Gail, God uses people like that to get prophecy, to accomplish prophecy. He uses people. It could be tyrants, it could be dictators, it could be authoritarians. He uses those people to bring about prophecy or to spark prophecy. So, what common sense was saying earlier is correct. The peace deal was signed by Trump. The hostages were released from Palestine to the Israelites, to the Israeli people. There's a difference between the two. And don't mistake it. And then the many who were in Israel released to the Palestinian people. All that happened yesterday and this morning, I think it was. Everybody's celebrating. While you're celebrating, Hamas was killing in the public square defectors and whoever these people were to show you and Netanyahu and Donald Trump, we ain't giving up nothing. I don't think y'all understand. You actually think that Hamas is just going to give up everything? So we're celebrating Donald Trump for what he did. Thank God he did it. He put his foot in there, even though it was for selfish gain. He did it, and those families got their families back. Thank God for that. But let me tell you something. A worse thing is coming. The Middle East have been fighting like this for 7 decades. All right? For 7 decades, they've been fighting like this. They are the most uh, they have been prey more than any other nation that I know. hmm I know. They ain't giving up Common Sense Corner. No way are they giving up. Absolutely not. You may see on the news where they might be doing some kind of symbolic giving up and symbolic turning over this and turning over that. It's all symbolic. As soon as the camera is off, the killing go back. You got to know your enemy. He is sly, sly, sly. He will shake your hand and hug you. He'll even cry in front of you. And then he's going to bite you. Some of you all have pets. We had a dog who was lovely and kind and cuddly, and laid at our feet until one day she was foaming at the mouth and was biting all of us. That is the enemy. This is why the apostle said, be careful of the wiles or the tricks of the devil. Put on the full armor of God. Withstand him. Submit to God. Resist the devil. All right? So Hamas is not giving up. They're gonna show y'all some symbolic stuff on television, and let me tell you, it's about to get worse. And it may not be worse in your lifetime, but tribulation is coming. Ezekiel is coming. Gog, Magog, Tubal, Rosh, Gomar. Oh, it's coming. And when they say peace and safety, as Common Sense said here, then comes sudden destruction. Israel is going to get too relaxed. They're going to get too comfortable. They're going to celebrate too much, too deep into the night all week long, because Jews love to celebrate. And while they're celebrating, that's how this happened. They were celebrating, and Hamas came in from the sky, y'all, parachuted from the sky and wiped those people out and took those captives. The United States was celebrating its grandeur, its superpower. We got relaxed. Pearl Harbor happened a long time ago, and we got relaxed. And we trained men to fly our airplanes. They came over here and we trained them. And while we were relaxed, the ones we trained tried to destroy us. Many people lost their lives. When they say peace and safety, you see, Israel is going to tear down their walls, fire their guards, beat their weaponries down and make pottery out of it. I mean, because they're going to say, study war no more. A peace deal is going to be signed just like what Trump did. And it's going to be a hot mess. So thank God that Trump got those families back in the hands of their loved ones. But this is a temporary celebration. Antoinette, it's a false sense of security. Hamas are vicious. They are of the synagogue of Satan. It is in their bloodstream to kill and annihilate. And so while Trump is celebrating and the religious right is celebrating, keep your eye on the target. God is going to get this thing out somehow, some way. Prophecy is coming to fruition. And again, you may not see it, but your grandchildren will. And you need to prepare them for it. Yes, April Cumberbatch, Qatar. Trump said you can walk from Iran straight to Qatar. Just you can jump across the street. And he knows nothing about geography. Nothing. Now, watching Hamas is one thing. Watching Benjamin Netanyahu is another thing. That man is one of the biggest crooks over there. And the hatred that is in that man rallies that with the hatred of the Muslim people, of Hamas, and all of those within the Arab nations and those of Islam. Benjamin Netanyahu is a man you need to watch. All right? Because he ain't done. He's not done. There's nothing under my sleeves. That's Bibi Netanyahu. Layla, he is pure evil. And so when your president is hugging him, and Yahoo came over here and says, I nominate him for a Nobel Peace Prize, let me tell you, the one that's smiling in your face and hugging you and kissing you on both cheeks is the one who kissed Jesus and sold him for 30 pieces of silver. You understand? 30 pieces of silver back then was slave money. He sold Jesus as a slave. That's how much a slave costs, 30 pieces of silver. He kissed him. And that was the kiss of death. So I need y'all to know that this celebrating that we're doing in America is short-lived. And even though two things can be right, because again, I'm glad that war took a pause. It's not over, it's just paused. It's just paused. That's right, Joseph. Monkey Moves, Joseph. That is the parallel between Jesus and Joseph. I see what you're doing now. I know why you asked that question. That's the parallel. It just paused, and people are dying as we speak. But I thought they signed a peace. Big old sign that said peace 2025. Y'all see that big old sign he was standing in front of? Remember when George Bush Jr. behind him when the towers fell and the plane fell in that and fell on the Pentagon, and then it went into the field over there. Where was that? Was that Virginia? Where was that? And George Bush was on that ship, and behind him the sign that did not age too well. Mission accomplished. Y'all remember that sign? That is what we're going to see played out. I'm prophesying to y'all. It's Pennsylvania, Sheila. That is what's played out. That peace 2025 that Trump is standing in front of or behind, it's the same mission accomplished sign that Bush was standing in front of. It's all temporary, April. Pamela, it's not over. Y'all better hear me. I've lived this. So have you all. On this walkie-talkie, minister, we all lived this. We were alive when this stuff was happening. My confidence is low as far as just holding for it. I know. We saw this. This is history trying to repeat itself. It sure is rhyming, y'all. How many peace treaties were signed between both religions in the Middle East? Y'all remember when Jimmy Carter was shaking hands with the two? Remember them two? Egypt and Israel? What happened? Somebody died. Remember when Clinton did the same thing? What happened? Somebody died. Reagan, what happened? Somebody died. All these presidents was doing the same thing, shaking hands, putting two enemies together and making a television appearance. That's all this is. That's all this is. And so now, what happens in the world is different than what happens over here. All presidents face this. Anwar Sadat, come on. Just a woman who loves God. You kind of smart. you kind of smart. Obama, Joanne, they all made peace deals with nations, and somebody died. So presidents have a difficult job. All right. Yeah, the Jacob Accord, Kinder Morris, man, the bunkers, man, y'all, where y'all graduate from? Where y'all graduate from? Because all y'all graduated from somewhere. What was I going to say? Oh, presidents are candidates before they're presidents, as you all know. And Anthony Lambert, he said, wow, you're giving Trump praise. When you come in on the show, they are candidates. And let me ask y'all a question. Candidates are scored high by what? To become president, to get the American vote. What are they scored by? The economy, crime, foreign affairs? What are they scored on that typically would get them elected? Can y'all tell me in the comment section? I'll wait while I watch my fireplace. Their contributions, Layla says. Anybody else? How are they scored? Okay, April said price of eggs, immigration, donations, the economy. Okay. Economy. Okay. Mr. Valentine. All right. Position on the economy, Global Ministries. Okay. Joanne. Okay. Anybody else? Yeah, Lakeisha, that. I actually have a fireplace. but I plugged it in. We plugged it up because in Chicago it is illegal to run a fireplace, and so all of the old homes. This home was built. This is a condo slash townhome, so it was built in the early 1900s, and so I do have a fireplace. It's right there. That's where you put the wood in right there, and we decided to plug it up. We plugged it up. Okay. So no fire there. So I've got to act like I have a fire right there. Now that's a fire. Now that's a fire. All right. Chicago. That's why I like the South, because you can. When I lived in South Dakota, I had two fireplaces. Oh boy, it was nice. Okay, but you got to clean that thing. Lakeisha, I had to clean both of them fireplaces, and that wasn't pretty. So I had to call. So that's why I love the chimney sweepers on Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins! Where was I? Y'all always have me. I be talking, be trying to stay on point, and you bunkers always get me to go this way. All right? So y'all said the economy, right? Okay, you said position on healthcare, military, immigration. All right. You all are right, but there's something that's higher than the others, and it depends on when. Okay? It depends on who. During the Obama administration or the Clinton administration, the economy was doing pretty good. Lakeisha, you threw off my topic. The economy, matter of fact, there was a what do you call it when you got a little bit left over, a surplus. There was kind of a surplus under Clinton, so it wasn't. So when he was running, it wasn't really about the economy. It was about something else. When George Bush was running, it was about military. It was about our protection. You understand? So it depends on who's running at what time or what's going on. So when it came time for Donald Trump to run, it was all about that economy. I mean, everything was rising high, even though many things were high under Biden, but when you compare it with Trump, things were better under Biden. That's the part where non-critical thinkers can't see. They can't see. Americans only see status quo. They only see what's going on here and now. It's difficult for Americans to see what happened yesterday, which is why we keep repeating history. You can't see what happened yesterday, so you can only feel the pain that you feel now. A woman has a baby. Right before she had that baby, she's in pain. She's in agony, and she says, "Pull this thing out of me. You better not touch me again, man. Don't you ever touch me again in that bed." And as soon as that baby is out of there, the pain is gone, and she's thinking about having another one because it's like she forgot the pain she was in. That is, as the scripture talks about, a man sees himself in the mirror, albeit darkly, and it's kind of fuzzy. He forgets what he looks like when he walks away. That's us. That's the American people. All right. So Biden, we were under his economy. It was high for us, but when you compare it to now, you wish you was under Biden's administration. And if you got a guy that you love so much, you can't see the comparison. You just don't like Biden. You hate him. But you don't see that you were benefiting from when he was in office. You were benefiting in many ways, especially you people who got your student loans totally wiped out. Understand? Your gas was lower. The price of eggs was much lower. All this stuff was low, low, low. And it wasn't until as Trump was running, and then stuff started going up because y'all knew, Biden was gone. All right, Trump gets in office, and then things are expensive, and then you got to somehow spend this thing. You got to spend the heck out of this thing. All right, and then you've got to focus on what he's doing over in Israel, which do not affect you at all. At all. And this is the red herring that we keep talking about. This is the smoke and mirrors. That peace process in Israel do not lower the cost of eggs. And it does not lower your light bill, your gas bill, your water bill, your mortgage, your HOA, and then went up. Your groceries are high. And now they're getting ready to kill Medicaid, Medicare, and people are losing their jobs who are government workers. All this stuff is happening. You think that America is so excited about what happened over in Israel? So he's celebrated over in Israel because everybody's loving him in Israel. But when he comes over here, he's now still got to face the economy in which he ran on. Y'all see why I set you up here? It's like you got bills due, okay? I mean, you up underwater. And so you decide you're going to take a cruise. Derek, really? Good to see you, man. Your wife? Come on, man. I'm telling you. You're like, let's go take a cruise for about a week or so. So you spend all this money, you take a cruise, and your bills are due, you in debt, and you take a cruise to get away from all of these problems. Can y'all tell me what's going to happen when you get back? Hmm? Hmm? Can you tell me? I just watched a video of a woman cooking eggs in boiling water. Can you tell me what's gonna happen? Come on, Sheila. Anybody else? Yeah. Not only will the problems be there when you get off the cruise, but the problems will be worse when you get back. Because depending on what you owe, you could be paying daily interest. It's going to be worse. You understand what I'm saying? Well, that's what's happening with this whole peace treaty. We celebrate the other nations nationwide. We celebrate them for coming together and figuring this out through the help of an American president. But the American president got to come back home to his family, and his family hate his guts. Can't y'all see where I'm going here? So because he did what he did over there, guess what? He's now embroidered. I mean, I'm the peace man. And now he's going to go over to figure out what he can do with Russia and Ukraine. Watch him. But let me tell you, Putin ain't playing. Putin has got his wife. Putin has got Melania Trump on state TV naked. Everybody in Russia know what Melania Trump looks like naked. Why? It's not on social media, not on their phones. It's on state TV. That's how much they respect that man. Did y'all know that? They're pulling up her stripper times when she was doing that little stuff and putting it on Russian TV. They are walking the dog. They dog walk Trump. Putin dog walked him to Hawaii. Dog walked him, did a photo op, never gave him what he wanted, and went back to Russia and laughed at it and then put his wife naked on their televisions. Was it Alaska or Hawaii? Where was it? Dog walked him. Putin is a whole nother. Putin will make Benjamin Netanyahu look like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. It was Alaska, wasn't it? Luann. Putin has been in this game a long time. Putin is KGB, y'all. They are an extremely militarized, intelligent. I mean, the CIA ain't got nothing on the KGB. Nothing. Putin is strategic and he's ruthless. And he will cut you all while helping you out of the water. He will cut you. And Trump is playing with fire with Putin. Playing with fire. So, who was that in the scriptures who killed, was it James? And the Bible said it pleased the people that he did it. So then he went after the other disciple. That's Trump. It pleased the people that he did this deal. And now he gonna go over there to Russia. It ain't gonna be pretty. That's what Samson did. He was killing the Philistines. He had the power because he had hair. And he made the mistake and he decided to sleep with his female barbershop owner. Samson went to a female. I tell brothers, stop going to these female barbershops. He went to a female barbershop, slept with her. And she called the Philistines. Woke him up. Hey, Sammy. Sammy. Huh? Huh? What's going on? The Philistines are upon you. He said, let me tell you, old hussy. I'm going to shake myself like I always do. My hair is going to just dab in the wind. You see how long my hair from the top of my head down to my buttocks. I'm going to just, you just imagine the wind blowing in his hair. He look like one of them commercials. Slow motion commercials. I'm going to shake myself. And I'm going to get up here and I'm going to kill every one of those fools. And he got up and he did this. He shook himself. And he be like, babe, babe. She's like, yes. Baby, I feel a draft in here. Is the door open? Is the window open? Somebody close the door. Somebody close the window. I feel a draft. Wait a minute. My head. I feel my brain. Why do I feel my brain? And she holding his locks. You mean this right here? You mean sick 'em boys? He's like, ah! That's Trump. That's Trump. Bigly. I'm about to do my little Trump impression. That's my Trump impression. That's what he gonna do. I'm telling you. I went over there, Benjamin Netanyahu, big guy, burly, with tears in his eyes. He said, "Sir, you write really well, really well, really well." He gonna go over there, and Putin will be like, "Come here, boy. Come here, boy. Come here." That's what's happening right now. I'm trying to tell y'all. Y'all better listen to Uncle Sir. I know what I'm talking about. It's about to get ugly, y'all. So I don't know what's gonna happen with this whole government shutdown thing because they blaming each other. And the Democrats are holding on to dear life because they're trying their best. They're trying their best to save your Medicaid and Medicare. They're trying. But somebody got to give up. Somebody got to give up the hold. They saying that this might be the longest shutdown in American history. Well, it could be, or could be not. But they're playing Russian roulette at the cost of people's livelihoods. And people are losing their jobs. And when you've been working for the government for so long, it's kind of difficult to find another job somewhere else because it's going to be hard to find another government job because the government shut down. So during the shutdown, you can't find another government job. So you got to try to find something. So you got to, if you got a car or something like that, you got to do the gig economy. You're going to have to Uber or drive for Amazon, what have you, and that's going to fill up. I don't, yeah, Uber never fills up. There's always, but Uber don't pay as much as they used to when I was doing Uber. All right. And so, and then um, they're going to come to a deal. And unfortunately, the deal may be that millions of people are going to lose their health care, which means a lot of people are going to die. You have to understand, you all live in a very large metropolitan areas where there's hospitals all over the place. Chicago, it's a big city, and we got a lot of hospitals. Lots. I passed many of them just going to the store. Um, but there are rural areas in America where there's only one hospital in town. You close that one, people will die because they're depending on that one clinic to survive. Um, and so the people that you voted for are playing in the sandbox with your life. And it's really sad that this is happening by people who are adults. So, what do you do other than seek God for help and for answers? Seek God for help and for answers. But no conversation about the school shooting in America. How is she having back channel conversations with Putin? Shelley, I must have missed something. What did I miss? Um, yeah, you guys gonna have to lean on God for now, because man don't have an answer. Many innocent people are, Faith, Jude 3. Many innocent people. Oh, Melania, Shelley? Okay, so let me go back to what you said so that I can see if I can make sense of it. Where did it go? Okay, but no conversation about the solution. How is she having back channel conversations with Putin? Yeah, right. I don't. Yeah, she's talking to Putin because she wants to help the children of Russia, either Russia or Ukraine, and they're making a fool out of her by showing her naked pictures on state TV. So yeah, it's a mess. Listen, there's a whole lot of topics that I could talk about. I'll never run out. Every day I can talk about something else that's happening in America and around the world. But I tend to focus on what I want to focus on. I can chew gum and walk at the same time, but I'm a topical man, and so I talk about and try to stay on the subject matter of the day, and tomorrow we can talk about something else. But you all are seeing history being written right before your eyes. And it's going to be embarrassing for your children, grandchildren to read the history books. It's going to be quite embarrassing when they're going to say, you mean tell me that actually happened? Mr. Valentine said, I'm out. I can't take the doom and gloom. We'll talk about sunflower seeds tomorrow. Okay, man? It's sunflower seeds tomorrow. All right, but if I can't educate the people on what's going on, then what good am I? All right. So, as I recap, Donald Trump did a good thing. Whether he did it on purpose or whether he did it for filthy lucre, or he did it for personal gain, he did it regardless, and lives were saved. People were able to reunite with their families. All right. Praise God. Part two is coming, and it's going to be horrible. And we have to pray for the peace of Israel. And but we are praying for. Here's the thing: this always rattles people's bones. God made a covenant with the people there, and he made a covenant with the people and the land. He made a covenant with Abraham, who was not a Jew, by the way. God started the people with him, Hebraic people, through Abraham. He was from Ur, and he was someone who God saw as someone he could trust, and his faith was greater than anyone that he's seen, that he would obey God's word, and at the hand of killing his own child, God saw that as someone that he could use. So what God did was make a covenant, a pact with Abraham, all right? And he did something that was irreversible. Cut an animal in half, and God walked through those animals. You're not going to sew that up. Abraham's seed was blessed by God, and the covenant was not through all of Abraham's seed, but it was only through one seed that came through that birth canal, and they gave his name, not Ishmael, but he gave the name Isaac. 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 And Isaac, through him, were born God's firstborn, the children of Israel. Not through Ishmael and not through anyone else. That's important to know. Before Jacob was even born, God had already blessed him through Isaac. So everyone who call themselves Jews are not Jews, Scripture says. Everyone who came from the seed of Abraham are not Jews. That's what Scripture says. We're doing a study in Patreon on the book of Romans. You understand? So that you can see what we're talking about here. And so God made a covenant with Abraham that he was going to bless his seed. Count the sand, count the stars. You can't do it? Good. Because that's how much I'm going to bless your seed. And then what he did was he also then made a covenant with him on land grab. This is why we may call it the Palestinian covenant. Some people don't like it. We don't care what you like. That's what the scholars refer to it as, Palestinian covenant. That is a land ownership. The 12 tribes were spread out and they had ownership of land. He went in there where the Canaanites were already there. The Jebusites, the Hittites, the Yemamaites, they were there, but they were horrible people. And so God says, I'm going to remove those people, and when you come, when the fullness of them, their sins have been fulfilled fully, he says, I'm going to bring you over there and you get rid of them. And then you will be in the land flowing with milk and honey. And they did just that. They just couldn't keep the land. You understand? You ever been given something that you just can't maintain? You can't afford it. There are people who were buying mansions because the banks were just giving you mortgages just by a signature, and you already had bankruptcies on your credit report. You didn't even have a job. But during 2004 and 5 and 6, the banks were giving out these toxic loans, predatory loans, and the people were Negroes were buying mansions. You understand what I'm saying? And they were living high on the hog. And then at the bottom fell out. That's what happened with the children of Israel. God had given them all this land and they couldn't afford to keep it, meaning up here they were poor in spirit. They were not obedient to God. And he told them that if you do this, I'm going to bless you. But if you do this, I'm going to curse you. They forgot that. And so they did this and God cursed them. And so he then said, I'm going to bring the same people that Abraham was born from. I'm going to send your cousins in to take you. And who were those? Those were the Chaldeans. From the same territory of Abraham. Same one from Ur. The Chaldeans were the same of the same territory were the Babylonians. And the Babylonians, the cousins, came. And God told the prophet, I'm going to do something that you won't believe. And if somebody come and tell you, you won't believe it. He said, write the vision and make it plain and put it up there on the poles. Put it into the cities and let them see I'm getting ready to do this. And they saw the sign. They said, the Chaldeans? Pfft, yeah, right. And God said, I told you. They ain't going to believe, and neither will you. And who came? And they sure came marching. They heard the feet. The Syrians came from the north, took the northern, and the Babylonians took the folk in the south, took them out of here. Your own cousins. Why? Because they couldn't afford to stay there. Rent was too high. It was like New York, in Seattle, in LA. The rent was just too darn high. And he said, so what we gonna do, April? They said, sing us a song. They said, how can we sing the Lord's song in a strange land? Sing, boys, you better sing. He said, I'm going to send somebody with stammering lips. They're going to speak a language that you won't understand because you don't want me to talk. They was like, God is talking to us again. Hey, Billy, God is talking again. What are you saying? He's saying the same thing. He's speaking in rote. He's just repeating himself over and over again, line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. Yeah, 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 yeah. God said, God says, oh, you don't like the way I talk? No, we don't like it. Okay, I'm going to send somebody your way who's going to speak to you in the language you don't understand. That's what stammering lips are, y'all. Stammering tongues. And they came in there, ba, 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 ba. That's why they call them Babylonians. They were babbling. Am I right? They went to ba, 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 ba. Barbaran. Y'all knew I was going to do, actually knew I was going to do that. Ba, 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 ba. And they were like, what is this sound? What is this noise? And God was preparing them for when the day of Pentecost come, because he was going to reverse that. You see, back then they couldn't understand the language. It goes back to the Tower of Babel. He confused their languages. They went over there to the mountain. God said, call them to the mountain. They don't want to listen to you, Moses. Well, I'm gonna talk to them. And they got to the mountain, and then God started to shake that mountain. They were like, oh my God, we don't want to talk to him. Moses, you talk to us. You talk to us. What did God say? What did he say? He said that. All right. I guess we got to do it. We got to do it. Moses like, well, why don't you talk to God? We ain't talking to him. Are you crazy? We can't talk to that man. We scared. Melvin is here, y'all. Melvin's here. We can't talk to him. We want to hear you, Moses. We want to hear you, Moses. And Moses would talk, and they would try. They would try. But one day Moses went away. He went away. He was up talking to God. He was talking too long. And they was like, where Moses at? Moses been gone all these days. He been gone for 6 weeks. What's going on? They said, you know what? We had it better in Egypt. let's build ourselves a golden calf. This is impromptu Bible study, y'all. We're gonna build ourselves a golden calf. And they say, Aaron, come here. Aaron, here. You pretty good at this. They start taking off their pearls and their gold watches and their wedding rings and the Lovato watches, them expensive watches y'all be having. Just taking them off. The Timexes, they would take them Timexes off. It takes a licking, but it keeps on ticking. They put that in there and woof. And Moses came back down and said, what is going on? And you know what Aaron said? Aaron was like, I don't know. I was just standing here and then poof. And this golden calf just came out of nowhere. Aaron was a fool. Poof! I just hit, he just came out of nowhere. Moses like, boy, get over there. Just stand over there. I would kill you, but I love you. You're my brother. Go stand over there. All right. Who's on the Lord's side? We is. Y'all come over here. The rest of y'all going to hell. Poof! There's the calf. Y'all read the story before, right? Come on. Genie just popped up. I think that's where Genie got it from. She said, Master, I'm going to do what Aaron did. What? What Samantha do? Is Samantha? What she do? Did she do that? What she do? Aaron, Layla said Aaron was a punk. Right, Moses made them drink at Golden Calf smoothies. Bunkers, y'all, something wrong with y'all. I can't use the word retarded because that's the DSM-5 told me not to use that word no more. I can't use the word retarded. I can't use that word. But sometimes I think y'all are. All right. Any questions? I think I talked long enough. I talked so long that my fireplace went off. And that thing was set for an hour. I was talking for an hour? What's wrong with me? All right. So y'all keep watching the news and keep paying attention because it's about to get ugly. It's about to get ugly. It's gonna look like it's all right, but it's about to get ugly. I'm gonna have to put some music behind it because that's too quiet. I want to hear some popping music. Oh, by the way, the P.O. box is set for those of you who got your return mail because the post office had not registered my name. It's registered now. I've been getting mail from you all. Some of y'all have been receiving your mugs. The rest of you who got your mail returned, can you send it back? That's the right P.O. box. It is the post office in Chicago. This slow. All right. So it's working now. I went down there today and I sanctified custom out. That's a thing. Sanctified custom. That is a thing, y'all. That's a thing. Sometimes I like to preserve energy because I don't like a whole lot of light unless I'm working. So I put some lights on my stairs. I want y'all to see what I do. See, I don't know if it's gonna work. Hold on. So watch this. Y'all see that? Watch this. Y'all see that? Uh-oh. Look at that. That's at nighttime. I don't want to hurt myself. It's at nighttime. I feel like what's that? Billie Jean? Was that Billie Jean when he was walking in that movie movie thingy? And Billie Jean. Yeah, is that Billie Jean? Yeah. So let me see. So that's my family right there, y'all. Okay. That's Junior Jr. and my son. That's Rebecca. That's Amir. That's Charles. Okay. And they all over my house. And then up here, way up there, is us. Let's see. Where we at? Okay, we're up here. All right, let's see. That's Justin. That's David. That's Dwayne. That's Larry. That's the handsome man right there, the most of the handsomes. That's Dr. Rodney Jones. That's Michael. That's my dad. That's my mom. And that's a Jesus fish. All right. This picture was taken, I don't know, but I do know right now I'm older than my father was on that picture. All right. And so That is that's the family picture. All right. Y'all already seen my mama. Y'all already know my mama. And my dad comes over here. I'm gonna have to give him this. I gotta give him this because every time he comes over here, he wants this globe. All right. And I'm gonna have to give him not. He can't have mine. I'm gonna have to give him another one.